Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So this is a review of episodes, 5 and 6 of Foundation. I'm really quite enjoying it. There is a massive problem with it, that it's made in 2021, and that massive problem really comes to the fore in episode 5, making it near unwatchable, and it really, which is such a tragedy because it's so beautifully done, but it really comes to the fore in episode 5. We're going to be talking about it. Listen, I don't know anything about Foundation. I never read it. It's always looked like the sort of thing I would be interested in. It was just, I'm not a big reader, and it looks like a very big weighty tome. So I never got. So then when I heard they're making the TV show, I'm like, oh, I'm kind of interested. Now I knew it wouldn't be anything like the book, and from what people tell me, it's nothing like the book, right? Absolutely nothing like the book. Although I keep looking on Wikipedia, because I don't want to spoil myself, but I want to see the things they've already covered. And I see the connections. And look, they said it was unfilmable. There was no direct narrative for this, but they seem to have pulled out quite a good through line through the series. And generally speaking, apart from the one agonizing problem which we're about to talk about, it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. Before we get into the review, can you hit the like button? That'd be fantabby double dozy. Can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That would be fantastic. If you're subscribed, please make sure still subscribe. If you're not subscribed, if you can consider hitting the subscribe button, that will be fantastic. So fine. If you don't know anything about Foundation, it's about a set in the far future of this massive galaxy-spanning empire that's about to topple. That's basically what it's about. The galaxy-spanning empire is about to topple. The Emperor, which is the best thing about the show, played by Lee Pace, has been the Emperor for hundreds of years. How he stays Emperor is by keep cloning himself. So there's always 3 Emperors. You got a young Emperor, a middle-aged, although a more active Emperor, the main Emperor Prime, and you got an old Emperor, right? And they unhatch these clones every, I guess, 30 years or so, right? So you get this nice idea of scope, and you get to see the same character over it, and they form this weird family together. All that stuff I really like. And then you got this character, what's his name? Harry Seldon, who's developed this new science where he says, oh, everything's going to end, and they don't like him because of that, and he sends him to the far reaches of the galaxy, and he's killed before he gets there. Fine. Okay, so basically what's going on. And the idea is they're going to set up this foundation that, after the Empire falls, instead of it being 100,000 years or 30,000 years of a dark age, it'll only be 1,000 years, because they'll have a repository of all the information there ready to go. That seems to be the essential plan. Okay, very good. So, what's the problem with this? The glaring problem with this is it's 2021, and 2021, the audience has been cut out of the creative decisions, right? The audience response has been cut out of creative decisions. I just heard this really interesting stuff about Disney, right? Basically, what's been going on with Disney is Bob, what's the name? The former CEO, Bob. There's 2 Bobs. The old CEO, the new CEO. The old CEO, Bob, whatever his name was, gave control to the creative division head. So normally they would have to, before they made a decision of what they're going to make, they would have to go through the marketing department and the merchandising department. And the merchandising department would look at things like Roast Tico and said, no, we're not going to sell that in a million years. You can't do this. But he put the power in the hands of the creators. And sadly, the creators have collectively lost their minds, and they believe a whole bunch of stuff, right? They were driven insane by the Trump government, which was just very good. If you're looking at the economics and every other metric was just, but they were driven absolutely insane by it, and they felt the world was under occupation by evil waitists, and their black people were being abused, their women were being abused, and so to fix this, they wanted to make black women not be like black women at all, but be like men. And so we get a bunch of black women with their heads shaved and scowling, being masculine. And the thing they don't really understand is that's just not appealing to anyone, right? That's just, nobody likes that. No, like literally nobody likes that. And that's really the center of episode 5. Well, half of the center of episode 5. See, one of the problems again of 2021 is they keep looking at people as a collection of character traits of not character traits of immutable character, like skin color, gender, and so oftentimes you'll have these stunning characters who are good at everything, who solves every problem, who are also black girls, right? Lots of black women and black young girls are the saviors of everything, and it just seems to me like just revolting tokenism. Absolute revolting tokenism. So they did that not once but twice in Foundation with 2 characters. Gal Dornick, who is a science genius, who solves this hundreds of year old science problem on a world where science is illegal, essentially. And she becomes like stunning and brave. Savior of everything. So, and that was actually quite a good character, right? The reason that character worked is because they wrote that character as a girl, right? It was a feminine character, and I really liked it, right? I liked her journey. I found it interesting, and engaging. So what happened where we are right now with her in the plot is that after they said the Empire's going to fall, they were banished to the terminus, the furthest reaches of the universe. They weren't allowed to use fast and light travel. They had to go. So it takes like 4 years to get there. During that time, Harry Seldon was killed by his protege, who was also the lover of what's the name of the character again? I just said it. Not Harry Seldon, of Gal Dornick, right? Was the lover of Gal Dornick, and she walks in just as he's murdering him, and he puts her in this tube and fires her off into space. You don't see her again after episode 2 until today, right? Fires her off into space, and it fills up with liquid, and you don't know what happens to her. Then 30 years in the future, 30 years past then, the Foundation is being built. When they get there, they find this like weird floaty monument thing that nobody can go near. Apart from the problem with the whole show, right? The absolute problem with the whole show, Murray Hardin, a scowling, stunning and brave black woman with the size of a head shaved, very masculine, who can do everything. So you got away with one character, that way with being really, really horrible tokenism, but 2 characters is stretching it beyond, beyond credibility. And what held it together was Lee Pace. Lee Pace is Emperor, so you had that story as well going on, and you were only focusing on one stunning and brave black woman instead of 2, and it went between her and Lee Pace, and it was like the spoonful of sugar made the medicine gown. So Lee Pace is not in episode 5. The Emperor is not in episode 5, and so you go from Gal Dornick to the other one, and it comes out like a sore thumb. Like the Harry, what's the name? Is just a terrible character, who's a Mary Sue that nobody really likes. So here, let me look at the Wikipedia of these 2 episodes. I'll read the synopsis, and I'll comment on from there. So in the past, oh yeah, fine. So now the first problem with this is they go into Gal Dornick's backstory, and they make her far less compelling by making it far more stupid. Right, which is a real shame. So in a backstory, Gal Dornick is forced to execute her former teacher, who was caught salvaging books from the condemned university. Disillusioned with Synec's religion, she educates herself. Yeah, I mean, it's so silly, right? I mean, this advanced high math, and she educates herself by reading. I don't. It just seems ridiculous. And she does it, and she becomes a math genius instantly with no struggle whatsoever. right? And there's just so many swipes at religion. I really, really, really hated it. They have a religious practice where they put these jewels in their face, these 6 jewels in their face, and you see a baby crying. It's clearly a swipe at circumcision. And the thing is, the religious fanaticism displayed in it, where they destroying anybody who doesn't follow, is exactly the fanaticism, is the secular fanaticism, well, not even I don't even know what to call it, the fanaticism that's taken over the world today, mainly by the writers, the writers in Hollywood. So it's so incredibly tone deaf, right? Just incredibly tone. They think they're saying a clever commentary about the intolerance of religion, while they're really saying a stupid commentary about their own intolerance, and they dumbing down the character at the same time. So so you have a backstory, and then you have the current story. She wakes up, she's in this pod, and it gets that all the sci-fi stuff is freaking awesome, right? All the sci-fi stuff in it is absolutely fantastic. So she gets put in this escape pod, which fills up with liquid, and she's on space. So then 30 years later, she doesn't realize it's 30 years later, she gets picked up by the ship. And it doesn't, and she's trying to work out where she is. That's basically where it is. She's being stunning and brave, trying to work out where she's going. And in the end of the episode, she finally works out she's going to Harry Seldon's planet, who she saw for her timeline, she saw murdered very, very recently. And then towards the end of the episode, Harry Seldon suddenly starts phasing into existence. So obviously something's going on. When they and you hear through the backstory, the history of what happened. That he was launched into space in a coffin of his own choosing, so of his own design. So it's clearly something's going on where he's going to come back, and he's heading to his own planet. And she's assumed to have murdered him as well. So she's trying to, and that's why she was shot into space. At the same time, yeah, so fine. So to be. In the present, Dornick awakens 34 years in cryosleep, finds himself in a fully automated spaceship, Raven, which had been prepared by Rech. That's the student of Harry Seldon. She learns Rech was executed for murdering Harry, and the galaxy believes her to be the accomplice in the crime. After deducing the Raven is bound for Harry's homeworld heligon, she stumbles across a wounded and seemingly alive Harry. Right, for that's basically that story. At Terminus, the Imperial ship Aegis carrying Commander Dorwin enters orbit. So this stuff is great, right? I really, really love this. It falls flat because of the other character. What's the character called? I've got to scroll up to say a bloody name again. It is Mari Hardin. Okay, fine. Mari Hardin. Just try to remember the name for the rest of the review. Fine. So at the end of episode 4, we had these bandits essentially show up from another planet, the planet that was essentially eviscerated by the Emperor in the opening episode for a crime they probably didn't commit. This terrorist act that you were blamed for that they probably didn't commit. So now 30 years later, and there's not much of the population left. They're all scarred, and they've come and invaded Terminus, and they got some big plan going. So by some happenstance, an Imperial warship shows up. So they're in orbit. Dorwin is informed that the captive Farah is informed of the captive Farah. Who's Farah? 1 second. He turns up and enters orbit and detects the bandits' presence. Dorwin is informed of the captive Farah and demands to speak with. Oh yeah, Farah was the person in charge of Terminus, of Foundation, called Foundation staff to bring her to the Foundation Tower. That's what it is. Right. Again, fine. So she's the captain, the person in charge of the bandits, who's actually another stunning and brave black woman. Like, really? And that just another one. So we have so it was her plan to be brought to the tower. She has this thing in her eye, which is really a EMP, which takes out the shield, and then her forces attack Terminus City. The ship comes into land. All the same time, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember her bloody name again. You see, this is how not interesting the character is to me, right? Salva Hardin. Salva Hardin say, no, she works everything out. She knows what she's awarded and she knows what to do. She's saying, no, don't bring her to the tower. Something bad's going to happen. And of course she's right. So they get rid of the fence that's keeping out the rest of the bandits. They come in and they start causing havoc, killing everybody, basically. And the ship comes into land, the warship comes into land, and it ends with that ship being shot down. So it's really kind of a dramatic ending. Special effects are fantastic. World building is fantastic. Everything is fantastic, okay? Apart from the scowling, angry, masculine black woman with the size of a head shaved, right? So, and it was just so much of that. Fine, so the next episode, Death of the Maiden, much better. Why? Lee Pace is front and center again. So Brother Day arrives at the Maiden, which is basically he's gone to sort out this problem of faith. There's one of the big religions in the galaxy is having a somewhat heretic look like they're going to become the leader, who's played by Tanai Miller with an American accent, which is a bit weird. I don't really understand why they have Tanai Miller with a bit of it. The thing is that everybody else is has Australian accents or but she has Australian or English accents. She has an American accent, and she has a whole thing that if you're cloned, you don't have a real soul or something along those lines. So he's come to make sure that the more traditionalist who holds the emperor does have a soul, even though he's cloned. So he first says, "Oh, I'm going to offer them like desalination plants and things like that." But it essentially looks like she's got the upper hand by the end of it. On Trantor, the main planet, we got the younger emperor, Brother Dawn, is exploring his the romantic side. Like he seems to have a romance start with a this female gardener. Well, I guess this gardener. And it's really quite sweet, right? He gets taken to like this brothel at one point, and and they got the whole thing where the people, not really a brothel, like everybody worships the emperor, right? They call him Empire. Everybody worships him, and so all the women there are eager to sleep with him in many different ways. Good work if you can get it, I think. And then they have their memories erased after being there 24 hours. So they don't remember them, which is, I think it was a bit weird to me. But he seems like he would much rather have like a normative life with fall in love and have children, right? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that, right? Fine, let's read the thing. So Brother arrives there. On track, the Brother Dawn pursues a romance with Azora Alduri, the palace gardener, and bears his deepest secret. He inexplicably has a minor genetic traits such as color blindness that differentiates from his previous Cleon clones. So this, I think, is going somewhere interesting. On Terminus, they managed on Terminus, the bandit people, the Asherons recover Dorwin from the wreckage, which was a bit weird. They kind of blew up that ship, and there's one survivor. The captain is a survivor somehow. That didn't really work so well. And they rounding up the colonists with the skills necessary of the crew to repair this long lost warship that they found. I think they're going to try and blow up Trantor. That's basically the vibe I'm getting from it. Salva escapes the city with the help of two children, decides to take out the Asteron's corvettes. Yeah, so we have honestly, all the thing with Salva, I just really don't care about, right? I just don't care about. But she takes out the bandits' ships, being stunning and brave. And then in the end, she's in control of the one working spaceship, and they need her to be able to fly it off, which is where it ends up. I just find everything with the incredibly boring character whose name I've forgotten. I can't believe. Okay, that I keep forgetting her name. Salva Hardin. I keep forgetting her name is an indication of how incredibly boring she is, because there's no character flaw allowed to be within her, and she's the only one who can go to this weird monument thing, which is indicated is the foundation, is the repository of all knowledge from a previous foundation or something. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. So listen, other than other than this one thing that stands out like a sore bloody thumb. What's her name? Lee Harvey. Also, she's not really that great an actress. She doesn't. To play against your natural genetic type, or like to play a scowling angry man if you're a girl, must be hard, and you need to have quite a good actress to do it. I just don't think she's really good enough to do it, and I don't think it's really fair to put her in that position. It's just like such a stain over such a really exquisite piece of work, and it's such a shame. It's so good that normally I would be out with this sort of thing, but I'm sticking with it. In fact, after I finish recording this, I'm going to watch the next episode. It's just Friday. It just dropped, so that's what I got planned. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.